Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while since I've uploaded a video. I've been, uh, I've been, I've been busy to say the least. Um, so I'm coming up on the end of reading the Hermetica, the Corpus Hermeticum. I'm in the Asclepius chapter at the moment. And needless to say, it's a little bit more complex than some of the other readings that I've delved into. Um, but more on that to come later. It's going to take me a little while to actually break that down. There's some correlations, of course, between that and the teachings of Christ and the teachings of Buddha and the teachings of Krishna. It's just, it's harder to spot in there. But nevertheless, that'll come in due time. In today's video, I'd like to talk about the topics of anarchy versus hypocrisy and correlations in Matthew 22:21. And what led up to this was I was in the live chat for Benjamin Balderson's collab channel, Deliberating Dog-Faced Dudes. If you haven't checked it out, recommend it. It's every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And basically, like, the topic of anarchy versus hypocrisy came up. And I had mentioned to somebody that the concept of hypocrisy is internal contradiction, whereas anarchy is without internal contradiction. Right? And, someone had commented on it a little bit, and I just said, as Spock would say, it's only logical. Anarchy means since I don't want to be ruled, I'm not going to rule you, which of course touches on the golden rule of treat others as you would want to be treated, which I could have put that on the board too. But nevertheless, I didn't. But point being, back to the quote, anarchy means since I don't want to be ruled, I don't want to try and rule over you, paraphrased roughly. Whereas hypocrisy is, well, a perfect example of hypocrisy is even though I don't want to be ruled, I'm going to try and rule over you. Right? And so that's internal contradiction right there. I don't want to be ruled over, but I'm going to try and rule over you. I want to be the very tippy top and be the, quote, true sovereign, so to speak. I want to rule over everybody, which when you talk about sovereignty, it's not what people think. Sovereignty means they're not subject, right? Well, to be not subject, that means that you can't subject others, right? It's the slave is subjected to the slaver, and the slaver is entirely dependent upon the slave and thus subject to the presence of slaves. Otherwise, they aren't sovereign. True sovereign doesn't rule over others, isn't ruled over by others. Right? And so during this conversation, the people that are running this show commented on it. One person said they felt it needed to be noticed. Another person had mentioned that they felt that they had moved past the idea of anarchy, which I don't think you can. I mean, I think if you try and move past it, you're retrogressing, or regressing, whatever you want to call it. And it just kind of dawned on me because the way that they explained it was, anarchy is not really feasible because some people just don't want that. They want to basically be enslaved. And Mark Passio talks about it. Dylan Sicosio talks about it. A lot of people seem to love their slavery. And I get it. I totally understand what they're talking about. Point being, right, the thought that popped into my head is, well, just let the people who want to give up their responsibility for personal accountability to other, like, let them give it up if that's what they think that they can do. You know, like, it doesn't actually work out in the end, but if that's what they want to do, if they want to spend their lives in that manner, let them do it, right? Trying to waste your time on convincing them otherwise, it's casting pearls before swine. Like, it's kind of funny how the message of Christ is so logically consistent within itself, right? So then, of course, what popped into my head was Matthew 22:21. Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. So the people that want to be free, like, let them be free. And the people that want to be slaves and slavers, if that's really what they want to do, if they want to be in that bully victim cycle and they don't want to change, like, me trying to force them to change is basically jumping into that slaver-slave mindset and getting into that whole cycle of duality all over again, right? So, point being, Caesar would represent the 0, God would represent the 1, right? So render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's. So give unto duality what is dualities. Give unto the ego what is the ego's, and give unto God the things that are God's. You know, and so that is ultimately the concept of unity, right? Not 1 and 0 as separate, but unified into one thing, right? It's that middle path. You know, this honestly would do better up here, up top, but that's kind of that whole all-seeing eye symbolism, right? With the eye at the top, right? That's the unity of the pillar of the eye, the pillar of wisdom. Okay. Point being, anarchy, right? No rulers, no masters, no slaves. Which also means that I am not forcing others to be free or forcing others to let others be free. I'm letting them do their thing, right? Contrary to what other people might think, whereas, like, these people seem to think that you can force anarchy to happen. You can't, right? It's entirely a personal thing. You know, you have to embrace it, lead by example, make it attractive, bait that fucking hook. So that way people actually find whatever it is that you're trying to lead them towards appealing. Otherwise, you're never going to get there. You know, and that's what we're trying to work towards, is an actual state of freedom where the people who want to truly be free are free. The people who want to be in bondage to another are in bondage to another, whether they are the slave serving the slaver or whether they are the slaver dependent upon the slave. But that's about the general gist of what this video is about. And, I mean, hope you guys get something out of it. Those who watch Mark Passio are going to understand what it is I'm talking about. And, thank you for your patience regarding the meowing cat in the background. And she's over on my dresser messing around right now. So I'm gonna hop off the video. Thanks.